Joining us, we have with us Amit Deshmukh, who's Solutions Lead, Content and Data Intelligence with Hitachi Vantara. So on that note, let's move on to our next session.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the ET Global Digital League. My name is Amit Deshmukh. I'm the Global Solutions Lead for Content and Data Intelligence at Hitachi Vantara in APAC. And the next 10 to 15 minutes, we're going to talk about how can we help you maximize value of your data by leveraging an intelligent data platform that some of our customers have been using for the past 10 to 15 years, and we are helping them draft their journey through this pandemic and adopt the digital technologies to help drive through this pandemic. With that, let me quickly bring my first slide. So before we move into the actual presentation, I thought of using this as the icebreaker. We all know that we're going through this very difficult time, and IT is not going to be same again because it's literally on steroids today. It's on a fast track mode of digital transformation. Workforce is working remotely. They are more empowered to do everything remotely. More and more people are working from home. And as per some of the studies, we know that about 42 to 50% workforce is working remotely today, and it's going to continue for the next couple of years at least. There's increasingly use of business collaboration apps like Teams, like Zoom, and that's also putting pressure on IT because everyone is on Zoom and on Team today. At the same time, because this huge workforce working from home remotely, the IT service management also is not the same. There is more staff supporting our customers, our employees. So the scope of service desk is expanded. There's also increased risk of security, and we need to be always ahead of that curve as we see a lot of phishing attacks happening on emails, on the internal applications that are being accessed through the home network, which also puts more pressure on the IT. At the same time, we have been asked to show more and more operational efficiency. So IT also has to be always on the top of the curve. Now, what does this mean? And what are the business imperatives of this on IT specifically? So we need a more flexible, agile data infrastructure. We need the infrastructure where right data is at right place at right time. Instead of having silos of information, we need more centralized pool of resources where anything can be accessed from anywhere globally. And there's always need to launch a new service, new application, new protocol to read, write, access our data, to reach out to our customers. So there's always need to ride this wave without reinventing the wheel. It's also shifting from CapEx to OpEx, from owning to leasing today. Most of our customers are asking us, can we defer our investments into a OpEx model? And that's very common with most of our customers, be it the enterprise customers or be it even the small and medium-sized customers. But the buying patterns are changing. There's more cloudification, and this word means going more on cloud, making everything cloud ready. At the same time, we all need now a strategy to monetize our data, strategy to store, enrich, activate, and monetize this data. So these are some of the imperatives that this pandemic has on IT, and because of that, what IT is expected to do by business. If we just drill down a little bit, how it is for the banking and financial sector, for how the data is spread across in a BFSI sector. So as per some of the studies, more than 80% of the data is unstructured. And most of this data is stored for at least 18 months to 24 months, sometimes beyond 3 years to 5 years. And at times it is even longer than the lifetime of the user. If you again drill down to look at what is the most common data type that's being preserved. So this is something that is coming from the customer survey that we have done. So most of our customers have responded saying it's a finance and sales related data that they are retaining for longer than 3 to 5 years, followed by the emails and the communications. If you look at these three, it's nearly half of their overall data. So around 50% of the data comes from the finance data, sales data, and the communication data. And this data is retained for 3 to 5, and at times even longer than that number of years. Other data includes the user generated content, user files, the sensor data, machine data, IoT data, and again it's followed by the CCTV, video recordings, etc. These are some of the most common data types that are being retained mostly across the unstructured data types in banking and the financial sector, and that's what most of our customers also agree. Now, if this is the case, what do we need to manage this unstructured data? So what we have seen after talking to most of our customers in the same domain is that we need a complete life cycle or a platform that can help achieve this life cycle. How do we acquire the data? How do we enrich this unstructured data? How do we store this unstructured data? How do we explore this data? And how can we make it easily shareable across various users outside and within the network, within the domain? So what we need is, if we just do one level, one click down, we need a right data placement strategy. We need a way in which we should be able to place right data at right place at right time, which also what we have seen in the previous slide. If we can make sure that this data is placed at the right tier, at the right cost, at right SLA, we'll be able to manage it better. Next comes, how can we add more structure to this? As this data is mostly or widely unstructured, we should be able to add structure to this unstructured data, and that's where comes the power of metadata. With the power of metadata, we can build a layer of intelligence on top of unstructured data and behave it like a structured data, wherein we can query that data, we can index that data, and that's where comes the third layer, wherein we create now a data intelligence on top of this, so that we can crawl through the various data sets, we can categorize and tag this data. We should be able to create a global index and a global search of this data. So you can see this evolution now, right? By leveraging the right data tier, by leveraging the metadata, we can now bring more intelligence to this data. Once we have achieved that, our customers are looking at how do they abstract the data access by using policy-based data management, by aggregating that data, by transforming that data, by enriching that data. And finally, which is more critical for a highly regulated industry like the finance industry, is putting a right layer of data governance on top of it. Can we isolate and protect data such as a personally identifiable information? Can we apply data at rest and data in-flight encryption? Can we apply right levels of access control, right levels of authentication, so that we automate the data governance for that unstructured data? Now, this is what are the imperatives that are required when we look at managing unstructured data in an industries like high tech, like finance and IT ITS industries. Now, if I may look at what we need to provide today to manage this entire gamut of unstructured data, is something called as an intelligent data hub. What we need is, we should be able to connect to various data sources, be it structured, unstructured, event data, logs data, file data, application data, ingest that data over various ways in which it can be read or written, and put it into a single global repository of that data, or bring in a data centralization approach. So instead of keeping in different silos, can we centralize that data so that you provide best in class uh, policies, consistency, security, and governance to this data. Once we have connected to this data, we brought it into a single global repository of that data. You should be able to even apply better policies and better data placement strategies so that you can cost effectively store, protect, manage that data, make it accessible across different layers from different applications, make it more flexible, make it more future proof for your new applications that are coming up tomorrow. And at the end of the day, it eases the overall knowledge distribution. So this is something that is emerging slowly with some of our large enterprise customers in the same domain. We use a common term for this. We call this as a data centralization or an intelligent data hub. Now, I just want to do one more little deeper click into this, and just want to show you how our customers are doing this today. So this is a use case that what we have seen is with our customers. Uh, I'm using some of my product names. So we have got Hitachi Content Platform as the object-based storage platform that inherently leverages the power of unstructured data, power of metadata, power of making data more intelligent, and it's a cloud-based uh, technology wherein you can have a hybrid cloud from day one in your data center, within your control, in your hands. But what we have seen is this is how our customers are leveraging power of object-based storage to leverage the capabilities inherently within our object-based storage platform to achieve data centralization. So let me just quickly build this slide and then take you through this. And this is very much common across large financial institutions, be it the largest private and public sector banks in India as well. What we have seen is there are a lot of document management applications, the ECM applications that most of our customers have. They have got call center recording software such as Nice, Verint, and a few more solutions. They also have got log analytics applications like Splunk. There's a lot of backup applications like Veritas and Commvault. It's a complete gamut of various applications, various use cases. And today, if a customer has not embarked on the journey of centralizing that data, putting into a single global repository of the data, it would become a complete siloed kind of approach. But this is what most of our customers who are already ahead of the curve have done. They have leveraged the inherent powers of platforms like Hitachi Content Platform, the multi-tenant platform, and hybrid cloud platform to consolidate all this data into single global repository, and then take right steps to apply policy-based management to this data, tier that data. It's also important to look at what data needs to be stored versus what data needs to be retired, because not everything is of same importance. So can we look at that by connecting to various data sources, by moving all these non-connected parts into a single global object-based storage platform, and then apply right levels of policies, add metadata to it, look at what needs to be stored, what needs to be archived, what needs to be deleted, and so on. Now, to give a little bit more context in terms of real customer use cases, I would like to now quickly drill down into something that the largest private banks in India have done. And this is coming from real customers. And when I say large private banks, all of us know the kind of customers I'm referring to. So there are a lot of applications that some of these customers are using. be it eKYCs or now they call it VKYC, video KYCs. Many of these applications are in-house developed and are not the uh, not not something that is available to be used from day one. It's a custom application that these customers have developed. Then there are applications like the ECM and DMS applications. There are the signature verification systems, fund transfer systems, loan originating systems, the call center recordings. There is compliance archival. There are the various file servers. So what we have seen is the customers, what they have done is they started with a couple of use cases like eKYC and DMS to start with first. They integrated their in-house homegrown applications with the object-based platforms like Hitachi Content Platform over various interfaces. Some of the interfaces that they have leveraged are HTTP, HTTPS-based ingestion. They have also used the APIs at times, which are available over S3 and REST. There's also native integration with off-the-shelf applications like NICE, like Verint for call center recording. There are a lot that our customers are consolidating by leveraging our file gateways, which provides. But beauty of this is at the end of the day, it all centered to how do we centralize this data so that we can intelligently access, store, protect, manage this data. And I would be more happy to work with you, all of you, if you would like to embark on this journey. At the end of the day, it all drills down on how do we leverage the power of technology in such times where it needs to be made available, data needs to be made available when it is needed within no time, or as I said, at the click of a button. So if you embark on a journey of data centralization or creating an intelligent data hub, I think we'll be able to achieve the outcomes. I think with that, I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of you to listen to go through the session, and I hope you have enjoyed.